On August 12th, something incredible is going to happen and you'll be able to watch it in the sky. Today we'll explain how and where you can watch this historic solar eclipse.
And why exactly the rumor is circulating on the internet that NASA is going to turn off gravity on this day. That's going to be super exciting. Stay tuned until the end. Let's go!
First things first, I'll be live streaming the solar eclipse on my main channel on August 12th. Even though the stream will be in German, I'd be happy to have a few international viewers join in. Let me know in the comments if and where you'll be watching the solar eclipse. If you don't want to miss this historic event, be sure to subscribe to the channel now. That way, you'll get a notification when it starts.
And for those who have already subscribed, you really helped the video with a thumbs up. 5,000 likes should appease the YouTube algorithm. Thanks, guys. Let's start with the madness that is currently haunting social media. I'm talking about the so-called Project Anchor.
The claim is that on August 12th at exactly 3:33 p.m., gravity will cease to exist across the entire Earth for 7 seconds. The result, they say, would be around 40 million deaths worldwide, because in the truest sense of the word, everything and everyone would suddenly float weightlessly through the air and then crash back down to Earth. Allegedly, NASA has known about this for years but is keeping the whole thing a secret and secretly building underground shelters.
Sounds like a bad disaster movie script. It is. Nevertheless, the comments on Twitter and Instagram are overflowing.
Users are asking questions like, why is there an exact date and a budget for the project if it's all supposed to be made up? Let's take a look at why this is simply impossible from a physics standpoint. NASA itself has addressed this with the fact-checking site Snopes. A spokesperson for the agency clarified Earth's gravity is determined by its total mass. The only way to lose it would be if the Earth itself were to lose a massive amount of mass. In other words, gravity isn't a light switch you can just flip off for 7 seconds. It's directly tied to our planet's mass, and that doesn't just change spontaneously on a Wednesday afternoon in August.
By the way, the origin of the myth can be traced back to a TikTok account with around 10,000 followers that regularly spreads completely made-up theories. It was also claimed there that the alleged gravitational disturbance is caused by the overlapping of gravitational waves.
Specifically from two colliding black holes. That sounds like physics, but it's nonsense. Dr. William Alston, an expert on black holes at the University of Hertfordshire, sums it up. Gravitational waves constantly pass through the Earth and through us, but the distortion is many times smaller than a single atom, completely imperceptible. And since gravitational waves travel at the speed of light, Alston says you'd need a technology that completely overturns all known laws of nature to even predict such an event down to the minute.
In short, stay relaxed, your coffee will still be sitting nicely on the table on August 12th and won't be floating toward the ceiling. But wait, before you think that nothing exciting will happen on that day, the exact opposite is the case. Because while people online are fantasizing about gravity failing, the real sky is preparing for an astronomical event that many of you haven't seen in 27 years.
Do you remember where you were on August 11th, 1999, when the last total solar eclipse was visible over Germany? Solar eclipse, eclipse glasses at the supermarket, homemade pinhole cameras, projectors built from newspaper instructions, entire streets of people looking up at the sky together. Let me know in the comments where you witnessed it back then. Here's how the German Tagesschau reported it.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. A solar eclipse over Europe meant a state of emergency in the sky and on Earth. On their way to witness the spectacle, millions were deterred neither by traffic jams, nor by hours-long wait times, nor by poor weather forecasts. At 12:29 p.m., the moon moved in front of the sun, and for several minutes it became as dark as night. The black sun wasn't visible as clearly everywhere as it was here. In many places, thick clouds blocked the view of the spectacle. Those who were able to witness the eclipse were captivated.
Yes, and now, almost to the day 27 years later, we get the chance to experience something similar once again. On Wednesday evening, August 12th, between 7:10 p.m. and 8:45 p.m., the moon will pass in front of the sun's disk.
Shortly before it sets on the west-northwest horizon. Over Germany, the sun will be obscured by between 80 and 90% depending on the location. This is therefore a deep, partial solar eclipse. However, anyone who wants to truly enjoy a real total solar eclipse would have to travel farther. Over parts of Greenland, Iceland, and Spain, the sun will actually disappear completely behind the moon. The peak of the eclipse will occur west of Iceland over the open ocean, where the total phase will last a full 2 minutes and 18 seconds. The most popular viewing locations, however, will certainly be in Spain.
I don't even want to know how crowded it will be in Mallorca, for example. Although it's questionable whether people at the Bierkönig will even notice the solar eclipse at all. Well, what's exciting about this eclipse, by the way, is its rather unusual path. It begins much further east than it ends.
This happens whenever the moon's umbra travels across one of the Earth's poles onto the night side of our planet. Specifically, the spectacle begins at sunrise in the far north of Russia's Krasnoyarsk region, far from any major city. From there, the moon's shadow races just past the North Pole, across the Arctic Ocean to Greenland, then heads south across the North Atlantic past Iceland, and finally reaches northern Spain as its last stop on the European mainland.
For the Spanish, by the way, this is a true event of the century. The last total solar eclipse on the Spanish mainland was in 1905. In Germany itself, it will remain an impressive partial version. The greatest eclipse in the German-speaking region will, by the way, not be reached in Germany at all, but in Luck, Switzerland with up to 92%.
After sunset around 9:05 p.m., the show will be over in Central Europe. Only ships and airplanes with a clear view will be able to witness the spectacular remainder of the eclipse over the Atlantic.
Finally, there remains the important question, how do you watch the whole thing safely? Because one thing first, even with only 80 to 90% coverage, the sun remains bright enough to seriously damage your eyes.
The Federal Office for Radiation Protection expressly warns against looking at the eclipse without certified eye protection, not even for a brief moment, and not even through binoculars or a telescope without the proper filter. Get a pair of special solar eclipse glasses and make sure they're free of scratches and holes. Your regular sunglasses definitely won't cut it here, not even if you stack several pairs on top of each other or anything like that. The same goes for old welding goggles or blackened glass. Some institutions, such as observatories, even hand out free protective glasses on the evening of the eclipse itself, so it's worth checking beforehand to see if there are similar events happening near you.
By the way, a little bonus for all you night owls out there. On that same night, from August 12th to the 13th, the Perseids will also reach their peak, that meteor shower that reliably visits us every August. So, whoever stays awake after the eclipse can enjoy the next celestial show right around midnight. It's crazy how much can be happening in the sky all at the same time on a single evening. And if you're wondering when you'll be able to experience the next total solar eclipse in Germany, well, you'll have to be a bit patient. According to calculations, that will happen on September 3rd, 2081. I'll be 89 years old then and will, of course, be live streaming for you from the nursing home. But first, the stream for the upcoming eclipse on August 12th. If you don't want to miss it, remember to subscribe to the channel right now. You'll get a notification for the stream, and don't forget to give a thumbs up so we can hit 5,000 likes. Yeah, so much for August 12th. So, no failing gravity, but instead a real celestial spectacle and a free course in healthy skepticism. If you enjoyed that, then I have another exciting scientific discovery for you.
There was a completely crazy discovery deep down in a radioactive mine in Germany. Life forms that look like they came straight from an alien planet, and that might even help us in the search for extraterrestrial life. Absolutely crazy, believe me. The original footage is in the video shown in the top right corner. Be sure to check it out, it's very exciting. And if you click in the bottom left corner, you can browse through my space shop. We now have brand new real astronaut food. Every purchase really supports my work. Otherwise, I'd say see you in the next video. Take care, everyone.